In this episode, we are going to be building a DIY diesel heater. Turned out really good. This is the finished product. All right, I'm going to keep this intro as short as I can because this video ended up being actually pretty long. But we're not going to be doing a step-by-step. It's more about how I did it and just a documentary on what I was doing. At the end of the video, we're also going to be going winter camping and testing it out, which I'm proud to say that it worked out awesome. It kept us super warm, a little too warm actually, and minus 22 Celsius, which is like minus 8 degrees Fahrenheit in the truck. So that was pretty cool. All right, let's get to the video. All right, so test fitting right now. So I'm going to put the diesel heater in here. And I'm going to make it this way. So the exhaust is coming out on the handle side, and then the intake will be coming out from like the bottom side. This would be the exhaust vent, which we're not going to be mounting it here, but I'm going to be using this as a reference point. As you can see, this Pelican case has like a sealed clamp for an electrical connection. I think this case was a specific design for a specific product. Anyways, but what I am going to do is I'm going to take this seal piece out, which is going to expose a big hole. And then I think what I'm just going to end up doing is just do what I need. And after whatever hole's left, I'm just going to cover it with a 3D printed plate. I'm going to end up using ABS plastic because this is not ABS. This is a lot stronger than ABS. It might even be ABS. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on it. But yeah, the idea is just I want to block that off. But because of where that is, I need to make an extension piece to go like this. And then this right here. So this is the plate that I'm going to use, which is what came in the kit. Yeah, so I'm just going to use it. I'm going to bend where I need to and use this to mount the diesel motor to the inside of the case. I think it goes like that. Oops, sorry. Yep. All right, so we 3D printed some stuff here. This is the actual intake vent for the warm air. And then for the exhaust or for the motor side, I designed this one myself. And that's going to be the intake for the engine or for the diesel motor, whatever. So the way I designed this was very similar to the exhaust, but it's a little different. The reason why I went with this design is because the filter, it actually just slips nicely over it, and so that's how it's going to be. So whenever we're going to use this, we're just going to push that in there and done. So let's go ahead, let's drill some holes. So for this one, just like the other ones, I am using a 3-inch hole saw. And then for this one, instead of being a little bit bigger like I did for the exhaust side, I'm going to the exact same measurements that I designed this, which was 38 millimeters. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so what I am doing here is, this is the factory side exhaust piece. It's kind of getting bent, but it's okay. The issue is if you cut this off, this will not go back onto either this or even to the exhaust port on the diesel motor. Now, they perforated or they bent this way purposely so that way you can shape the bends that you need for the exhaust. But I found that using my sockets, I can actually flatten out all this here, starting with 15 millimeter, 16, 17, and then 18. 18 millimeter socket is the same as this. So as I'm doing that, I can open up this a little bit and flatten out all these ribs, so that way I have a flat piece like this. So that way when I install this onto the diesel motor, I can use the exhaust paste, and then that'll slide over and I'll clamp it down, and when the exhaust paste dries, we're done. Okay, that went according to plan. Oh, I'm so proud of this. Sorry. So as you can see here, this is the factory, whatever, how it came. I trimmed off the edge a little bit, and then this side over here is the side that I flattened out, and it looks friggin' awesome. Like, seriously. Wow. Alright, so here's another piece that I just designed and printed with the ABS plastic on the 3D printer. Because of this offset and the way everything's going, I wasn't able to get the flexible pipe in here. So on my AutoCAD program, figured out what the offset of the two holes are, the distance. Anyways, I did all that. So this just slips over easily. And then this actually vent goes inside here, and it's solid now. All right, let's get back into the garage, I guess. Alright, so I'm hoping that you guys can hear me, because I have the mushroom going to heat up this garage, and it's pretty friggin' loud, and it's on its low setting. Anyways, it's been a hot minute since we've worked on or even touched the diesel heater. Reason for that is the filter, it actually broke. And the other thing that I didn't like too much about this kit was the fuel lines is friggin' rigid as crazy. Like, there's no room for any bend, and it's very hard. So what I decided to do was to sort of upgrade the fuel lines. So I went with this one, super soft, as you can see. Like, you can bend it a lot easier, and it can go for a tighter radius. Also, this kit came with 2 filters, which looks like I'm gonna end up breaking them before I even install it. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's keep that there. All right, so came with 2 filters, 10 feet of fuel line, and also a little baggie of clamps. All right, so let's upgrade the fuel line and get this thing fired up today, hopefully very soon, because that is friggin' loud, like I keep saying. Let's get to work. So another thing that I purchased for upgrading all this is I'm putting a fuel shutoff valve. The reason why I want to do this is because my idea is I want to have a tank that's permanently mounted onto the wall of my garage, and then I'm going to have another tank that's going to be for overlanding, and I want to be able to switch in between the tanks. Now, by doing that, when I'm taking off the lines, I'm going to be spilling diesel all over the place. So what I want to do is I want to be able to minimize the spillage. So that's why I want to install a fuel line of shutoff valve. So we'll probably end up doing something like this, but I gotta figure out where I want the fuel line to come out of, and that's still something that I'm not too sure. So I'm just gonna, for now, just leave it loose so that we can test it, run it, see how it goes, and maybe perhaps do some trial testing to see on what works and what's not gonna work for what side. But for now, we have this huge hole right here, so I can run the line through here, but I just got to be careful with the diesel exhaust and also the HVAC exhaust, because these 2 things are going to be hot. Alright, so it looks like everything's ready to go. As you can see, there's the fuel shutoff line. This was just an extra piece that I cut off. I don't know if this is where it's going to be its home, but this is just for now. I didn't want to cut off any more of the blue piping. This, again, like I said, this is just an extra piece that I cut off. So I'm just integrating that. There's the filter going into the pump, going into the bottom of the diesel heater. Now what I did do, because of how small this pipe is coming out of the diesel heater, I had to use a zip tie to secure it properly. This rubber hose is actually much bigger than, or a little bit bigger than, the fuel line that came with the actual unit itself, but it should be still good. Alright, so let's go ahead, throw this end into the tank and prime it and turn it on and see how it goes. Super excited for this. It's going slowly. For a second there I thought it wasn't going to work. Go, 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 go. It's a lot of line, man. A lot of line. There's an air bubble that's trapped right here. But you can see right there, it's starting to fill up. And you can hear the... Uh-oh. Hopefully it didn't burn out. See how much power we got. 30%. Oh, wow. This is definitely going to be taking a minute, so I will get back to you when the lines are primed or plumbed. There it goes. All right, so still a lot of air bubbles. Let's go ahead, stop it. Let's go ahead, turn it on. All right, so good news. Some stuff came in just in time. I'm going to be working on this now. Here's that double-ended barb nipple that I'm going to use to go through the cap. And then this here is actually a quick release fuel line. And so I'm going to put this on the box side, and then this side will be for the hose coming from the fuel tank. So that way I can quick release and separate the two. That's going to be cool. All right, let's get to work. Let's work on this right here. So what I'll do is this plate that I made for to cover that hole, I'll drill a hole right through this so that I can put this temporary for now, and then I can put that up there. Alright, that's literally everything right inside the box. Intake filter, controller, exhaust, exhaust, HVAC exhaust. Close it up. Ready to go. Alright, morning guys. Last night with this diesel heater. Before I explain how things went last night, spoiler alert, it went amazing. We'll just do a walkthrough with the setup here for winter camping. So I just put the diesel heater there on the floor, ran the dryer conduit up into the stuff that I made, or the insert, and then just left the diesel right there. So we're just, we were lucky enough that the diesel did not gel up or get like a thick. It doesn't really freeze until it gets like super cold, but like at minus 15 it actually does become like a gel paste or a gelatin type of thing. Anyways, but no, last night was good. We ended up starting off here and went down there, so about a half a tank, and it ran for like 10 hours, which is pretty cool. And we have these insulation bubble stuff. It does two purposes: gives us privacy, and at the same time it does give a little bit of insulation, which is really cool. And then we have I think it's an rated R6 insulated air mattress on top of our boxes, and this is the first night that we actually slept like this, and it was really nice. But no, this turned out really nice. So this is like a double mattress. The two of us slept really comfortable in here. So as you can see, the insert just dumping everything right there, and kept everything really nice and warm. It was actually a little too warm. So what I ended up having to do was this piece right here, as you can see, like an L, I put it over the cap and had the hot air get blown to the front of the truck. Did that, and we started getting more comfortable. So it was good. So all in all, we actually did, we slept really good. It was really nice and toasty, and it did dip with the windshield. It did dip down to about minus 22 last night, and we were super cozy, like super warm. I would say this diesel heater was a success. Super happy with it. I was really impressed. What's your thoughts?
I thought it was too hot in there.
We're still learning it. But the biggest help was redirecting all that hot air to the front. Yeah.
That helped a lot.
Yeah, it did. So yeah, we're gonna have breakfast now. My wife is making pancakes. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. So this will be an ending for both the window insert and also the diesel heater. Super impressed, super happy that we have it. It's gonna expand our camping explorations here in Canada and also the colder weather a lot more. So there are some other things that I have ideas for the diesel heater in regards for mounting and to keeping it so that way it's not so much on the floor, half under the truck as you can see it. But yeah, super happy with it. So if this is the kind of things that you guys like, why don't you go ahead, think about subscribing. If you enjoyed the video, why don't you give us a thumbs up? That helps us out with the algorithm. And with that said, who knows, maybe we'll see you out there.